The straight lines may be pathways linking a series of shrines, and the figures were probably not meant for human eyes, but for their gods. But for those who seriously believe we've been visited, this is the ultimate proof: an unidentified flying object, or UFO. The first modern-day UFO was spotted in 1947 near Mount Rainier, Washington. It was described as a saucer skipping over water, and from that description, the flying saucer was born.
You and your women can give us life, and what we want, we take.
The myth was fed by a series of sci-fi movies, and the belief that aliens had visited us in flying saucers just grew and grew. Even as late as 1996, a poll conducted in the United States showed that nearly 3/4 of the population believe that the government is covering up information about UFOs. And this is the possible reason why. The supposed UFO crash at Roswell, New Mexico in 1947 has entered American folklore. For many, it was the ultimate conspiracy theory. An alien spacecraft crashes in the desert, and alien bodies are removed from the crash site to be examined by autopsy. All this is covered up by the government and remains top secret to this day. The truth? Something did crash in the desert, and there were bodies. But it wasn't alien in origin. It was a high-altitude military balloon test. The bodies that eyewitnesses claimed to have seen were dummies. But how do we explain away the countless UFO sightings and filmed evidence? Once again, Naked Science enlists the expert skills of hoaxbuster Jon Lundberg.
We've used a kind of technique that undoubtedly has been used by many people in the past to perpetrate UFO hoaxes. And it simply is a matter of building a small-scale model and then having that suspended on a rig and a bit of fishing wire so we can actually have the craft up in the sky with the surrounding clouds and sky and a landscape. And to be honest, it's quite easy to do. It's not difficult to achieve.
And then, with some clever manipulation on his laptop, Lundberg produces the perfect UFO picture. But there are always some people who will never be convinced that such pictures are the work of hoaxers.
If you are coming forward and showing that you've actually perpetrated a hoax, you're immediately seen by that community as a heretic, as seen to be attacking their belief system. And they will do intellectual double-back somersaults to basically explain away you and your hoax.
We've learned that there is no hard evidence we've ever been visited by aliens. But next, Naked Science reveals a moment when the scientific world believed we might have made first contact. This is the sound of our universe. It's alive with cosmic noise, a constant barrage of galactic white noise. August 15th, 1977, Ohio State University. This is Project Big Ear. Its aim, to scan the galaxy and listen out for an alien species. It's the middle of the night. As the scientists catch up on their sleep, suddenly the computers pick up a signal. It's coming from somewhere in the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, over 200 light-years away. But this is no ordinary signal. There is no known natural phenomenon to explain it. This blip looks like a mark of technology, perhaps a sound of intelligent life. It lasts for 72 seconds and then goes silent. It's so striking, the first scientist to see the computer printout wrote down one word: wow. But the wow signal, as it came to be known, has never been heard again. Researchers recently pointed the dishes of the Very Large Array in New Mexico in the direction of the wow signal, but all they heard was silence. It remains one of astronomy's most thrilling and inexplicable moments. Will it someday, maybe even thousands of years from now, mark the start of a profound new chapter in human life? Or will it be remembered as just another computer malfunction? For now, it's a mystery with thrilling possibilities. And planetary scientist David Grinspoon thinks it may well have been alien in origin.
it remains quite possible that the WOW signal was a genuine detection of some kind of extraterrestrial intelligence. My sort of fantasy scenario for the WOW signal is that it was a snippet of conversation, perhaps between two ships, between two aliens, that wasn't really directed at us. We just happened to, for a second, be in the right spot to eavesdrop on.
Although the WOW signal has never been repeated, there is a chance that aliens are already transmitting and we're just looking in the wrong places. For us to have a realistic chance of finding alien intelligence, we need to scan not thousands of stars, but millions. But how can we achieve that sort of scale? Naked Science next travels to Northern California, to the site of the Allen Array. It's the new permanent home for the SETI Institute's Galactic Sweep. Although currently there are only a few operating, eventually there will be 350 dishes covering this site. All of them able to run 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, scanning the stars for signs of intelligent life. The SETI search has been running for the last 2 decades. In that time, thousands of stars have been scanned. With this new array, the SETI Institute will be able to search millions of stars in the next 20 years alone. With that sort of capability, the Institute's senior astronomer, Seth Shostak, is for the first time confident enough to make a prediction for Naked Science.
So given the capabilities of this telescope and how many star systems it's going to be looking at in the next 2 decades, I think that we're going to hear extraterrestrials by the year 2025, and in fact, all the action is in the last 5 years. So my bet is we'll know we're not alone sometime between the year 2020 and the year 2025.
And how will it change us the day we discover we're not alone in the universe?
I suspect this will be one of the biggest, if not the biggest story of all time. I think that if you were a resident of Earth in the 30th century and you look back on the 21st century, you know, you wouldn't remember anything about the wars or the technology or the political infighting or any of that stuff. What you would remember was that's when they finally shattered this ball of isolation that was around this planet. That's when they finally found that there were others out there.
But just how life-changing will a signal from another species be? If, as most scientists agree, they'll never visit us, there's little we'll be able to do about it.
Well, it would be frustrating, in a certain sense, to learn that they're out there, but we can never have two-way communication because they're so far away. But I think that even that scenario would still have a very profound effect, simply because the knowledge would be there, would always be there from that point in history on, that there is somebody out there.
But there are a number of scientists who think we should be very wary of contact with aliens. Professor Stephen Hawking of Cambridge University is one of the world's leading cosmologists. He fears our very existence may be threatened if aliens show up.
I think it would be a disaster. The extraterrestrials would probably be far in advance of us. The history of advanced races meeting more primitive people on this planet is not very happy, and they were the same species. I think we should keep our heads low.
But it may already be too late. As we've already heard, for the last 100 years, we have been transmitting radio signals, and they've been leaking off the planet at the speed of light. One day, if there is intelligent life out there, someone or something will know we are here. But perhaps advanced civilizations will have evolved to the point where conquest and wars are a thing of the past. Let's hope that if they ever come, they come in peace.